as you're coming up the live, and let's have a conversation right here. This is Right Along Live. This is after late night shift, Right Along Live. This is a reaction to the Prime Minister's speech. We just saw the Prime Minister's speech right here on Right Along on mostly all platforms. And yes, this is your opportunity to talk back and react to what you just heard from the Prime Minister's speech just recently. All right. So this is your opportunity to call in and react. We expect to be joined by a number of panelists. And let us talk. 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 Let us size what we heard here today, guys. Let me go ahead and share the program. You guys go ahead and share it as well. Since this is after our late hour broadcast, most people probably don't know that we're on, but you can give them the notification. Share it. Let us talk. This is Right Along Live, late night. All right, let me share it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. Again, guys, we expected to be joined by a few of the panelists so we could have this discussion here. And of course, we want you guys to talk to us and tell us what your thoughts are from what the Prime Minister said earlier, just a few minutes ago. We was watching it in real time, and we started the live as soon as the Prime Minister got off because I want it to be fresh. I want everyone that have been listening and paying attention. I want you guys to give me your fresh analysis and reaction on this. I share. Wendy Ferguson, how you doing? Wendy, big up yourself. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. Wendy. Who else is inside? All right, Gail, I see you. I see your comment as well, Gail. We go get to it. So everybody share. Sasha, how you doing? Lacey J, I see you. Yes, guys. A mouthful said here today by the Prime Minister. A mouthful said here by the Prime Minister, and a couple different things that we want to highlight and talk about the practicalities of what was said here today. We're still waiting to be joined by a few of our panelists. We have Moses. We're hoping to have Moses. I'm hoping to have Kem Jones as well. Joel, I sent out a PR to him to see if he could join us, hopefully. But the most important of it all is your reaction, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Now, the Prime Minister started his speech speaking about the vaccination and the low numbers of vaccines administered. The Prime Minister went on to say that to date, there are about 21,000 doses in Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and there are about 16,000 or so fully vaccinated. He spoke about the science of the vaccine is not perfect, and went on to say that if you are fully vaccinated, and if you check a lot of the language, not only by the Prime Minister of Grenada, but a lot of the language by a lot of different heads of state are changing in terms of the vaccine, right? I must also state from the top, I am fully vaccinated, and all my family, all my kids, everybody's fully vaccinated, right? That was my personal choice, right? But one of the things the Prime Minister said at the top of his statement was that the science are constantly shifting in terms of the vaccine, but if vaccinated, it doesn't necessarily prevent you from catching or spreading the virus, but instead it would most likely limit your chances of getting severe illness as it relates to the virus. He spoke about the Delta variant. He spoke about also the number of infection in neighboring Trinidad, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in Barbados, and how these numbers grew, over a very period of time. All right. And he also said that if those numbers were to happen in Grenada, the whole healthcare system would be inundated with sick patients. And the healthcare system is not ready, not set up not in a position to handle those volume of people that would potentially get ill. He spoke about the Delta variant and compared it to the US, where he said that the Delta variant is the dominant strain here in the US. People are catching it quicker. They say it's like 1,000 times more virus in your body. So people are getting sicker, staying in hospital longer, and it's spreading. And if that variant were to get into Grenada, then it would mean it will wreak havoc. He also correlated the 99.5% of the population of the people in the US that are dying from the vaccine from the virus. They are not fully vaccinated. So people who are sick or who are sick and are hospitalized, they are not fully vaccinated, but there are still a few people, still some reports of people reported that are fully vaccinated that still get the virus, but we all could also confirm that there has not been any direct. Well, I don't know. I don't want to confirm that because I don't know the facts of it. All right, so we were joined by. I think we have a first panelist on here, Mr. Moses. Moses, could you hear me? Moses, could you hear me? All right, Moses is testing his audio. Moses, could you hear me? All right, let Moses set up himself there. Yeah, guys, and Moses, could you hear me?
I'm hearing you know, but it's I don't know. I have a problem with my phone at the moment, but I can hear you.
Okay, all right, Moses. You got an opportunity to listen to the Prime Minister's speech today.
hmm
What's your initial reaction on what was said?
Well, there was a lot said, to be honest. I feel like at this moment, I feel kind of confused, slightly because it just went all over the place. I mean, due respect to our Prime Minister, but I feel like the information was just all over the place. It seems as though it's just promises to me. I feel like a lot of Canadians at this point in time are very frustrated and they are literally down to the wire right now. They want change. They want, you know, I feel like the word on the street right now is that people want to get rid of the present administration, the present government, because it's not really serving the people at the moment. And there's so much different sectors that we could talk about, especially everybody's talking about health right now, you know? But there's just so much different things to talk about now. And like, I feel like people are misguided in a way because we can't really get a sense of transparency with this government. We have no idea what they're spending the money to do. We just hear information and news that's being done without us even knowing. We're not informed. We feel like, you know, under pressure at the moment. You see this, the current state in Grenada, and Junior, it's not easy, you know. I'm coming back from England, being out for a little while and coming back in, I could really feel the pain of the people on the ground, the hardworking people every day. So I feel like his speech was slightly disconnected to the real issues. I feel like he did put out some information there that people might have wanted to hear, but I don't feel like he really went and knitted the bud. I feel like he was just all over the place. Yeah.
Right, right. Let's break it down into pieces because I get what you said when you said he was all over the place with his speech, right? Like he put a whole they make a whole set of callaloo inside of there. I guess he wanted to talk about so much things, so he kind of put it all into there. But,
Mhm.
let's itemize it. Initially, he spoke about the vaccine, and he
Mhm.
had that in for probably a good 10 minutes or so about the vaccine, and then he gravitated and started to speak about the variants, and then about the stimulus. He spoke about the stimulus and
Mhm.
how the stimulus would impact people in the entertainment industry. One of the things that raised my eyebrow in this thing here, right? He said about permission, and permission that was granted to certain people, kind of like they understood, or certain things was happening, permission was being granted to certain sector, and they realized that they seem like that has been realized that yes, certain sector of people have been getting permission and some people have not been getting permission, and it seems like he is trying to correct that in some kind of way.
Yeah, I feel as though he's playing a game where he doesn't know what's happening. And to me, that's slightly dangerous as well, Junior, because it's like he's saying that he's just realized that this problem or this is going on, that one set of people in society are given special treatment and so on. I heard he made about two remarks about that specifically, but it's evidence that's currently going on, and we could see it now because it came out to light with the whole incident in Kaupen, you know. But it's been going on. There's a lot of big um, promoters that has been charged more than once, and it was on the news, so we could see that certain people are being charged, certain people are getting through to do their parties and all of that. So I feel like the double standard is just rife, and people are kind of fed up with it, especially in these times when people just want to free up, Junior. That's the word on the street, you know. People are really fed up. There's a lot of, like, you know, things, gas and cost of living is just so high. People haven't had an increase in their pay for so many years. Public workers as well as private sector workers are frustrated. People have lost their jobs. People are getting paid half their salary, Junior. People can't have to borrow money at the end of the month just to make ends meet. And I feel like the Prime Minister is slightly disconnected with the fact that the people on the ground, the poor people, the hardworking people, the middle class people, everybody's suffering right now. So I feel like we need more than just this speech. We actually need to see things happening.
Yeah,
And, you know,
you
it's one to just come and record something and send to the people, but it's a different thing to have dialogue and really understand what's happening on the ground, you know.
somebody
During a
sent
pandemic,
somebody sent me a message here, and they basically stating we want to free up, people want to free up, but at what cost? If the cost of freeing up means that more people would get sick, and the neighbors, if you look at the neighbors in immediate circle, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad, and these places, and them who have skyrocketing numbers of COVID, should the government ignore that and just say, okay, let's free up, everybody free up, and know the potential harm and hardship that might come after?
mm. No, well, at the end of the day, you see, now we still can't go against what the government is doing because we're in a state of emergency, Junior, you
Mm.
know. And I feel to a certain extent that we can't ignore that there's a possibility that there could be an outbreak of the new variant, which could really wreak havoc on our health system in Grenada. But honestly, Junior, do we really have COVID in Grenada? I've been asking myself this question for some time, but like on the ground, it seems as though we have no COVID in Grenada. So I feel like people are very stressed out right now. They're thinking, yes, you know, there's a certain um, type of people that's going to be on the mass. They want to enjoy themselves. They want that day to free up just to go out and play a mass for 24 hours, let's say, and just have fun, free up for all the hard work that they've been doing for the last 2 years under this pandemic. So, you know,
No, I'm
things are different all over, but
all for people. I'm all for people having fun, right? I'm all for people freeing up because I know what it costs psychologically, right? But I just
mhm,
want to understand for at what cost. Because if you look at the human toll that potentially could happen from this, right? Say for instance, there is some sort of big that happened in a particular area, and one person just jump a boat from St. Vincent and come in, and or Trinidad or whatever, and that one person now were infected. Although we don't have COVID in Grenada right now, but think of what one individual could do if
no, but
placed
you're right.
in the environment.
You're right. You know, I see a lot of people commenting, and obviously, I'm speaking for a Grenadian standpoint, you know, like what I'm feeling on the ground, what people are saying. You know, I have my own personal opinion about COVID-19 and the protocols that are going on right now, right? And I'm saying that obviously we don't want to risk it, Junior, because that would be selfish.
Right.
It's not just about the people who want to play mass. There are elder people, there are younger people who could be impacted if we have a major outbreak. So I do understand that. We have to think of the bigger picture and obviously the other people in our society. If we claim to love Grenada, we have to love the people. So I do understand that part.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, we want to get your voice on it as well. 718-701-5720. We're talking about the Prime Minister's speech and reacting to it almost in real time. There was a lot of stuff that was made. There was a lot of promise that was made in this particular speech here. And one of the things that the Prime Minister said as it relates to the stimulus that would basically target people in the entertainment. Barbados did something kind of similar where they gave different artists and entertainers and mass bands and stuff like that. They gave them some stimulus, and I guess that worked out good for them. But here is a question that I keep asking myself, right? Where the money coming from? Yo, could you imagine the situation, the financial burden that is being placed on any country right now, specifically on Grenada, that doesn't have much of tourism. They don't have the SGU. They don't have no kind of activity that would basically stimulate the economy, but still have to pay off all of this. Where all this money coming from?
Hmm. Now, I'm asking myself the same thing because I keep hearing they talk about loans, you know, and at the end of the day, if people are going through a pandemic and people are jobless, how are they going to repay the loans? That's what
Right.
I'm thinking.
Right. And that's another big factor. I was speaking to a friend today, and he was saying, I was asking him, yo, what's the situation like in Grenada? And he was explaining to me, boy, it tough, it difficult, it hard, it real hard. And I get to the point right now. Before we had a committee or a team that when we get a request for assistance, we usually go through a list of people, go through it and sift it through, and they look and see if it is viable, or if somebody just trying to run a game on us. But I reach to the point, Moses, I get about 10-15 requests for assistance per day, and I get to the point that I ain't even going through the committee no more because it is so difficult for people. I'm just sending Western Union. Today
Hmm.
I'm sending about 5 different Western Union for people. And that is a lot of requests because people are just having hell because of COVID-19, right?
Yeah.
And it is they are at a point right now, they forget the shame of it. People in Grenada. I always have this kind of they always wanted to hide their face before they act. But no, it doesn't matter. People are so stressed out. Unemployment is through the roof. They don't care what. They hungry. The children happy. They want help. They're been reaching out, and I mean we've been getting record calls for people
Hmm.
that seeking assistance. So I know it hard. I know it hard. And any kind of stimulus right now, especially when kids have to go back to school, would help in a big way. Especially there's no carnival this year, no economic, nobody could sell a little thing on the street and get something to take the kids back to school. How are these people and them surviving? You on the ground, what are you hearing from the people on the ground, and what are they in about even back to school? Are you getting any feedback
Well,
from that?
I'm not really hearing people talk about back to school, to be honest, Junior. Most since I've been here, I've been hearing people talk about getting by day, Junior.
Right.
It's a little bit different now. I feel like a lot of people are going through a lot. Remember, gas prices up, cost of living is up. People are just going through day by day, but it's a lot of pressure. It's not only in Grenada as well too. It's all over the world. And but unemployment, you see, because we're so dependent upon the tourism industry and all the other industries around the tourism industry that benefit off of um, people coming to Grenada as a destination. That sector has been hurt really, really hard. And you're talking about the whole of the South. Some of these hotels have no one in them, two, three people. People, there's a lot of people in Grenada right now that I've met, and they're like, you know what? I can't even make it. I'm getting $300 when the fortnight come. Can't even send my daughter to school. It's really hard. And then no, a lot of people are feeling victimized or forced into taking that vaccine. I have family members who are going in SGU and want to finish their education, and they feel like they've been, forced to take the vaccine. I even have a cousin of mine's junior that got sick, and there's no health line in Grenada to help these kind of people who take the vaccine and end up succumbing to some of the side effects of the vaccine. And I feel like people are not talking about those things. There's a lot of things that are going on. There's a lot of people who are being refused of a job. They've been working in institutions odd years, giving their life and all their time to these institutions, and it just seems as though they are irreplaceable all because of COVID. It's
Yeah.
really hard on the ground, June, and I feel like a lot of people want to cry, a lot of people want to break down, but there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion in Grenada right now. A lot of people are fed up. The youths are fed up. The adults are fed up. Everybody's angry right now at the prime minister. They're angry at a lot of the ministers for not, speaking up. It's just a lot of anger, Junior. And I feel like to be here and to be around the people in the different villages and hearing the different stories, that's when you're going to really feel it. It's different from looking from outside or, hearing about stories, but being there, it's different. We need a lot of help. It's not just about loans. People actually need cash in hand. You know what I'm saying, Junior? Cash in hand. Like people just need that buffer. Rent's
Yeah.
gotta pay and bills. You have food. Right now, you can't even make it on one salary, no more, Junior.
Hmm.
So the friends, I have a lot of friends that are unemployed. I have friends that are working, but everybody is. It's like it's a struggle. I'm not
Yeah.
really hearing anybody happy at the moment. I'm not hearing people happy, and then everybody's thinking about the little job, the little time that we got the Emancipation Day, and people are saying, "Look, we're feeling like something is gonna happen. They're gonna take away our freedom a little bit." You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really tough.
Yeah. Again, guys, we want your input on this. We're speaking live here with Moses. He's on the ground in Grenada. He just got back and he got a chance to observe what's happening. He also got a chance to watch the Prime Minister's speech and making a reaction to what he heard here. But we want your guys' reaction as well. I saw so much comments from the minute time the Prime Minister opened his mouth. I hear negative comments. I hear all kind of comment. I want you guys to talk. I want you guys to call in. I want you guys to voice what you're feeling, right? Because I want to kind of channel the anger Moses, right? I want you to help me out here. People are angry. Are they angry at the prime? Angry because COVID take away their livelihood and they cannot work or they cannot get a salary? Is it at the prime minister itself or the government itself or just the whole situation? What you feeling from being on the ground?
I feel like it's collective. It's not just only the prime minister because he's not the only one who's making the decisions up there. It's a body of people. The party doesn't consist of him alone. Obviously, we know he's the leader, and he probably might write off on most of the actions, but he's not going to know every single thing that's going on. It's a group of them. So I feel like everybody's angry at him because of some of the remarks that he's been saying and some of the double standards and the lies that he's been spewing at Grenadians over and over. And it comes like when you hear him give a speech, the thing that you could always remember is him saying brothers and sisters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Over and over, it's like he spends more than a minute just saying that one phrase, brothers and sisters. But people don't want to hear that right now, Gina. People
Right.
want to figure out how they're going to pay their bills, how they're going to pay their loan at the bank, how they're going to send their kids to school, how they're
Right.
going to take care of the kids right now that school is over and they're home. Who's going to see after their kids? Daycare is expensive. Work is, there's no work in Grenada right now. Construction is on the low. The hotels are empty. The streets is locked off at 12 o'clock. So the people with the bars and the businesses that make money in the night, they have to go home. They have to literally squeeze, and then lock off. People are not making the money that they used to before. They can't live the life that they used to before.
Yeah.
So obviously, when people are a little bit uncomfortable, and we're seeing the politicians, live their regular life, passing in the same roads that we drive every day with the potholes that are wide as the road. Some places you have to slow right down, Junior. It's real bad, and all
Yeah.
those things cause accidents. They're not fixing the roads, and people are not talking about that. They're not being transparent. I don't
Right.
know if you heard about the Livera project. What's
Yeah. How
going
about
on with that?
before we talk about that? Let's take this quick call on the line. Caller, your live. Where you calling us from?
Junior,
Hey, go ahead, caller.
hello.
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Uh, what I'm concerned about is the mandatory vaccine.
Okay.
What I'm thinking of, because I went to my doctor. I am calling you from Alabama.
Alabama. Okay.
I went to my doctor and ad, for an advice on. I made 3 appointments to take the vaccine,
Right.
and I had to cancel it. But I went to my doctor to take the vaccine to find out what is going on. And he said to me he's not taking the vaccine because there is a lot of complication with the vaccine that they are not reporting.
Uh huh.
He studied himself and he even find that people die from taking the vaccine which they are not reporting.
Uh huh.
So he is not taking it. He's not advising his patient to take it because I even asked him, if you want to spread the vaccine, why you don't put the vaccine to the local doctors? So when the patient go, the local doctors could give the patient the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
He said they're not doing that because they know and a lot of the doctors are not taking the vaccine and they're advising their clients not to take the vaccine.
Well, not all.
So
Not all. Your doctor probably have told you that, but when I went and checked my doctor told me the opposite. So
that's what I say. It's a lot of misunderstanding that's going on. So this is where I said a lot of politics coming into this vaccine. Who's supporting the government gonna tell the people take it, and who is not gonna say not to take it. So it's a kind of puzzling thing.
But I also want to say that the vaccine shouldn't be political, especially in Grenada, right? Because the Grenada didn't make the vaccine. Grenada didn't make the vaccine. The best they did was receive vaccine through the COVAX facility. So just like all the other Caribbean island, they receive, and sometimes it's donation. I don't know if they purchase it, whatever, but they receive the vaccine because they didn't create the vaccine. So any government, including the opposition, is telling these people that the best way, the opposition leader came on, that the best way to get out of this pandemic is to get vaccinated. So I don't think the vaccine should be a political pitch or a political ploy. Any administration should try to protect its citizens. And this is not an endorsement for any political organization, but any political organization would come to its citizens and speak in ways in how they could protect the citizens. And it shouldn't be political. I don't think that it should be political. Go ahead, Paul.
It should not be political, and it should not be forced on somebody. You have a choice. That's your health.
Yes.
And you choose to take a medication, or you could choose not to take a medication. You could take a medication and it don't affect you, and I take a medication and it affects me.
Yes.
So you should have a choice. They shouldn't mandatory medication on you.
Yeah, and I agree. It should be a choice. Moses, you was going to make a point.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the fact that with the vaccine at the moment, Grenadians don't really have a choice.
Right. They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice. It's only the AstraZeneca. As I was telling you, I have a family member who had bad side effects from it. And they don't have a hotline. They don't have anything to help anybody who is sick after taking the vaccine. So it's one to set up a unit or a place with people where you could administer the vaccine. But what about the side effects? What about those things? What about the people who are negatively affected from taking the vaccine? Where is the choice? look, America is basically sending the AstraZeneca to the third world countries, and they are not giving it to their people. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but they basically kind of stopped it for North America. They stopped
Well,
using it.
it wasn't approved in the US here. In the US here we have the Pfizer, which I took, the Moderna, and I think the Johnson and Johnson. Those are the three vaccines that was given emergency use authorization, right?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, Junior, I feel like if Grenadians had a choice, more people would take the vaccine.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you that they need to have options. And there's even one, there's Sputnik from Russia, and there's one in Cuba as well. They don't have that option. But let's take this call. Caller, you live, where you calling us from? Hello?
Hello,
Yeah,
Junior.
yeah, caller, go right ahead.
Hello,
Yes,
Junior.
yeah, go right ahead. Where you calling us from?
Yeah. Florida.
Florida, go right ahead.
Yeah. I mean, with the vaccine thing, I mean, that's the only way we could get away from. I mean, from this virus that's going on. The vaccine. I know, yes, as some people it gonna take it gonna give side effect, and some people it don't give side effect. Some people will take it and no problem. And another thing again that what people have to do before you take the vaccine, you must test first to see whether if you're positive or you're negative. And if you're negative, you don't take the vaccine because if you take it, it could make you very 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 sick
When they say
or it could
negative,
kill you.
when they say negative, what do you mean? When they say negative, what do you mean?
When I say negative from the COVID, meaning that if you take your test first and they show that you're negative, that you don't have the virus before you take the vaccine. Because if you take it, you're positive when you take it, it could make you sick really, 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 really bad, or it could also kill you. So you mo-
Go ahead, caller.
so you could must
Go ahead, caller.
so you must test first.
Yeah,
You hear me?
yeah, I'm hearing you.
You must test first before you take the vaccine
Yeah.
to know what your status are, to make you what your status are.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you, caller, for your view. I think that people should also check with their doctors, because I have a friend who, she has allergic reaction, and she was advised by her doctor not to take the vaccine, because of he knows her medical condition. So, and that's another reason why it should never be mandated, because everybody have different medical or pre underlying condition, and you can't just tell somebody go ahead and take the vaccine. What if you go ahead and say, okay, you take the vaccine, everybody take the vaccine, and someone end up falling ill because of the allergies to the vaccine? Who's responsible? The vaccine manufacturers is not responsible. It would be, the employer. It should fall on the employer. That is the case. You know. So it should not be mandated. My position is it should not be mandated. But at the same time, I think, as the caller said, the first thing that the caller said, one of the only ways to get out of this pandemic, I firmly believe, is through this vaccine. But I agree with you, Moses, that the people in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and some of the other Caribbean islands should have choices, options. Because as it stands right now, there are no options. It's either you take AstraZeneca or you don't take AstraZeneca,
Uh-huh.
right? And I don't know what's the arrangement. I don't know what's the arrangement as it relates to getting other vaccines, right? But I think that should be something. I think if people were given the option of taking the vaccine from Cuba, they probably would have taken. They probably more people would have taken the vaccine.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not only workers that are being forced to take the vaccine. It's innocent people who are studying in the university, Junior. I have a cousin who's studying in the university, and she was on her last year Think about that, Junior.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing her studies on her last year, and she was forced to take a vaccine that made her sick. And nobody's responsible. Her employer is not responsible for that. What they did is they gave her an ultimatum. If she wants to continue studying, she has to be vaccinated. That's all it is. That's forcing somebody to choose between their education and their future and taking a vaccine that could have negative side effects. And now she's in pain sometimes. She has pelvic pain and she's seeing little blood, strips and so on. You know what I'm saying, Junior? So it's very technical, and especially in Grenada right now, you see the state of our health facilities. In other countries, they are creating hospitals specifically for people with COVID 19. There is no, I'm not seeing any politician talk about things like those to isolate people who have caught COVID with the regular population. We have to look into things like when people come from abroad, Junior,
Mm-hmm.
Grenadian citizens, when they come to Grenada, that they should be taken care of properly in the best way possible. These are citizens who are coming back from these countries, sometimes stuck out there.
Yeah.
There's much more important things that I feel like we need to address at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. We have another friend on the line here. Go ahead and enable your video if you could, Kim. Can you hear it? Yeah, there you go. There's the
No,
man himself.
let me make sure that my background is proper.
Proper fix.
Yeah.
Kim Jones, the man himself. You hear me, Kim Jones? All right. Kim, you hearing me? All right. Kim, are you hearing me? Kim, you hearing me? Okay, we'll get Kim Jones audio up. Guys, we're doing a summary. Jab Moses, Kim Jones, we're on the live and we're speaking about the Prime Minister's speech that was just delivered a little while ago. I want to get your instant reaction to it. The Prime Minister spoke about vaccination. The Prime Minister spoke about a hotline that is designated for people who feel like they are. Let me use the exact term that the Prime Minister used. He called fearless hotline. So if you feel that you are being victimized in any kind of way, in particular to this getting any kind of assistance, you
Right,
could
Junior,
call
when
the
you're ready for
hotline.
me.
Yeah, 417-6646. Cam Jones himself, how are you doing, sir? Are you hearing me? Cam, are you hearing me? Okay, Cam is not hearing me. Cam, are you hearing me? Cam, are you hearing me, Cam? Are you hearing me? I don't think Cam Jones is hearing
Yeah,
me.
I'm not hearing his audio as well.
Yeah, his audio just went again. But I want to get Kim Jones' take on it because I'm sure that he got an opportunity to watch the Prime Minister's statement, and Kim is a very strong activist there in Grenada, and he speak his mind always. And want to hear what he had to say on the reaction to the Prime Minister. Kim, are you hearing me? Kim, are you hearing me? Kim, are you hearing me? Obviously, Kim Jones is not hearing us, but we'll rectify the audio. Let me see if I could type it in there.
Junior, I'm not hearing you, eh?
Yeah,
I'm
go
not hearing you, Junior.
out and come back in.
I'm not hearing you.
Go out and come back in, Kim. All right, let's take this call there. Let's take this call, and while we rectify Kim Jones' audio, caller, you live? Where are you calling us from? Hello, caller, you live? All right, the person hung up. Yeah, let's take a little snippet from the Prime Minister's speech earlier today and get your reaction on it. Again, guys, you can call the number 717015720. That's earlier today from the Prime Minister.
Not only creates direct and indirect employment for hundreds of our people, there's also significant impact on the local economy. My dear sisters and brothers all, I assure you that government's commitment to restarting the economy does not mean that we place any lesser value on the lives of the people. It simply means that we are constantly striving to maintain the delicate balance of safeguarding lives and protecting livelihoods. And we do have the benefit of a COVID-19 vaccine to provide a measure of protection for our people. Soon, we expect to have additional vaccines so that Grenadians can have a choice. The Ministry of Health will provide more details on this in the coming days. But I can confirm now that the expected shipment of this will allow younger Grenadians to be vaccinated.
Right. So let's talk about this, Moses, because we are talking about the option of just having one vaccine. Hold on, before I ask you that question, I have a caller on the line. Let's take the caller first. Caller, where are you calling us from?
We in Grenada.
All right, caller in Grenada. Go right ahead. Go right ahead with your question.
Well, no, I wanted to
Good night.
Hold on. Caller on the phone lines. Hold on 1 second. Caller on the WhatsApp. Stand by. All right. Caller on the phone line. Stand by. Caller on the phone line. Stand by. Caller on the WhatsApp. Hold on. Right. Caller on the phone line. Go right ahead. Where are you calling us from?
Good night, Junior. I'm calling from Montserrat, but I'm a Grenadian.
Yes.
Living in Montserrat.
Grenadian living in Montserrat. Go right ahead.
Yeah. I think the address tonight was a very interesting address by the Prime Minister. But I had a few concerns, though. As a journalist, I'm wondering if the address given by the Prime Minister tonight has any, if it's a reaction to the elections in St. Vincent.
Right.
Usually there are rumors of things to come when the Prime Minister is about to give an address. And in this case, there were none, as far as I know. It seems like an address out of nowhere, right? And I'm asking, where is all this money coming from? The government just last month didn't have money to address teachers and public servants,
right?
And the 4% issue. But this month we are offering up to 6 months of stimulus to be rolled out in a month's time, September. Additionally, the Prime Minister did not address any real bread and butter issues in his address. There were a lot of issues relating to vaccination and basically the climate in the country, but not the bread and butter issues. And I think that is what people want to hear now, how the bread will be buttered. Families will have to provide for themselves, children to go back to school in a month's time, etc. And I want to agree with Moses. This address was all over the place. We started with COVID, then tourism, then stimulus, then the climate in the country. I'm not sure if the Prime Minister ran this address by his communication team, because I'm wondering if the ordinary man had the ability to address much of what was said. And in that light, finally, the structure of the address leaves much to be desired as well. We began with vaccination, and I'm sure anybody in communication, if you start with vaccination, the people who are anti-vaccination will shut down the entire address. And so the critical information that you want to get out will not get out. And I feel much of that has happened tonight. Because of course, vaccination and everything around that is a very hot topic. People have concerns about it. Their questions are not being answered. I feel as if the Prime Minister's communication team would have lapsed there. Started off with the whole stimulus and the bushing program and all of that would have probably been a better way to start the address, in that you have gotten people to stay on to hear what's coming next. But this address leaves much to be desired. And Junior, finally, just thank you for this reaction to the address, because I think a lot of people will be able to understand much more of what was said, because as a journalist, I sat here, I had my pen and my paper, I was writing down, and I got lost halfway through because he was going from one area to the next so quickly that, we missed so much. Thanks, Junior.
Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate you and your input on that. Very important point raised. I think we got the audio situation rectified with Kem Jones. Kem, could you hear us now?
Yes, I can.
Good. We're hearing you good as well. Call on the WhatsApp, standby. Kem, I really want to get your reaction on this. The Prime Minister just delivered his statement there, a televised address seen globally. What's your initial reaction, Kem?
Well, it was just about election. The election will be within the next 6 to 9 months. And it was tactical because we have been calling for a stimulus early o'clock in the first 3, 4, 5 months of the pandemic. One that would provide a paycheck to those who were directly affected, meaning that they lost their jobs. And you would give that to them for a 6-month period. We were also calling for reduction of tax breaks for so many people, and that did not happen. But tactically, Keith Mitchell decided to delay the process, delay all of that, so that it will fall within the gap of the next election, because we believe that in the first or second quarter of 2022, the election would take place, and people will be all high with getting that little temporary thing, a stimulus. Not only that, he mentioned the 4%. Finally, August coming, people will start seeing that, public officers will start seeing a little 4%, and that means $60, $70, $100 and something dollars for some people on the dinner table. Then he spoke about the whole issue of the debushing program, where 3,000 plus people will benefit, getting $332 or so from it. It's all about election gimmick and ploy to trick people into believing that he loved them, he cared about them, and that's just temporary. It's just like a relationship with an abusive person. They beat you for 3, 4 years, drag you, kick you, cuff you, figuratively speaking, of course. And then, at a particular point, they start to treat you nice for a month or 2 or close to your birthday. And then you believe that they're a saint and they're all good again. I am saying, Grenadians, you ought not to be fooled. Those in the diaspora and here at home. An elderly lady said to me, Kem Jones, boy, Keith Mitchell and his regime, they're acting like slave masters. They treat you like slaves for a period of time, and then they invite you inside of the house to drink wine and drink whiskey and dance and for just a day or two, and then you will tell everybody that your master is nice, your master good, your master is okay, and then the next 2, 3 days you're back on the slave plantation getting licks and real blows. I am simply saying what Keith Mitchell delivered tonight was all for election. It was an election ploy. And anytime Keith Mitchell mentioned in his speech that this is not about election ploy, an election trick and gimmick and so on, it's all about helping people and hello, he means the opposite. Keith Mitchell and the NNP don't like people, brother. That is why the electricity price is so high, sky high. That is why the roads are so bad, bad, big hole, pothole, copper hole. That is why the unemployment rate in Grenada is still between 65 and 70%. That is why the poverty rate in Grenada is between 42% and 45%. That is why when you go to the supermarkets and shops, the price of basic food items is high, real high. When you look at also the price of gas, let's look at gas. Come on, $16.36. And you know they're not giving 2 cents and 1 cent change. So you're paying $16.40. So you're looking at a situation where St. Lucia is $13.95 per gallon. St. Vincent is $13.20 or so. Dominica is $12.68. But in Grenada, because the government has $5.50 petrol tax on every gallon you buy from the gas station, it is sky high. It's crippling people in the country. You look at water rate under the NNP, water rate increased significantly. Keith Mitchell would not talk about that. No, you would not talk about that. Look at the amount of people who are hopeless and they want a little opportunity. Nothing is happening for the ordinary simple man for the last how many years? But the election is not far away. In the next 6 months, 9 months, well, Keith Mitchell start the trick again. The man start the gimmick and trick again. I just pray and hope that Grenadians understand This thing is about bread and butter. People have been suffering for too long. This man has been at the helm in this country for 20-something years, Junior, as Prime Minister. This man is an expired corned beef. He's useless right now. And that's the reality. That is the reality. And then you have a situation where he has been in the parliament for 36 years. The majority of young people, all they know is Keith Mitchell and the NNP. Enough is enough. I am at a point where I am angry because people can't play their job. People cannot free up and enjoy the culture. You can't take culture away from people. You can't get police to come and take the culture away from people and beat it out of people. The culture is in us. It's in our bone and in our blood. Allow people to enjoy their job now. Enjoy their carnival. Yes, we understand. Just do it in St. John. Enjoy in St. John. Do it in St. Patrick. Localize the thing. Do it in St. Andrew. Do it in St. David. Do it on a parish level. We ain't producing COVID here, brother. If they do what they're supposed to do at the borders, when I say borders, and some people might say, well, Grenada really don't have a border because we are surrounded by water. So if they do what they're supposed to do on the airports and seaports and the hot areas where people might come in, hello, we will be safe here, man.
Yeah, but Kem, what about in cases where they cannot police every single angle? We saw just a few days ago when Vincentian Nationals, 3 of them also came into Grenada. What if this Vincentian National that came into Grenada had COVID and jump up in a jab ban in St. John's?
Well, what I can tell you, Junior.
Hold on, Kim. Sorry. Don't answer it. Let's take that call. That call is a long distance call. Let's take it and then I'll come to you. Caller, you live. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, caller. Where are you calling us from?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Could you hear me?
I'm actually calling from Grenada, but I'm from London.
Okay.
And I'm Grenadian by birth, but I lived all my life in London. I just wanted to sort of congratulate that young man, Moses. Moses is giving a very good picture of the contemporary situation of Grenada. And he had made some very positive observations. For example, the vaccine. From my observation, it is the SGU who are driving the impetus for mandatory vaccine in Grenada. I feel that our government is taking its lead from SGU because SGU has a greater percentage of Grenadians employed, and quite a lot of Grenadian salary come from SGU. Now we are at a stage here in Grenada where we would not be able to buy or sell because there's a new regulation coming in that stores can tell us we can't come in because we're not vaccinated, that offices can refuse to see us, that somebody can refuse to do business with us if we're not vaccinated. Well, the vaccine is not one vaccine that do not suit everybody. I'm not anti-vaccine, but some of us have very bad allergies.
Yeah.
And so I think we should be tested by our doctors to see whether we can take the vaccine or not. Grenada is not disclosing the fact that some people are very, very ill from the vaccine. Some people have died, and there is no recourse, no follow-up, no statistics follow-up to see how the impact that the vaccine is having on us. Okay, that's my take on the vaccine. On contemporary society in Grenada, we are in a desperate situation. We have a very high percentage of sexual abuse. We have high unemployment.
Yeah.
We have lots of young men who is high on drugs and alcohol, committing knife crime and killing each other. We had about 3 deaths in 1 month alone with knife. We have a situation where we have no MPs, no spokesperson, no religious bodies coming on the media and talking to the people about the frustration, the anger management that people are facing. Grenadians are now going through really, really difficult times. I'm very fortunate because I am back here. I am financially able, okay? But at the same time, there are many of us who help Grenadians in many ways, and many of us returnees or long stay people. We are really, really taken for a ride here.
Right.
Right now, I have got a court case going where I went to a restaurant and somebody stole $3,500 from my card. Okay, we are faced as returnees or as long stay workers, long stay Grenadians, of bribery, of fraud, of situation that's really not good for Grenada. And if it wasn't for COVID, maybe a lot of us would have go back to where we come from. We put a lot of money in Grenada here. Those of us who are here as returnees or as or as people who have retired and buy houses, create jobs in many ways, do volunteer work and whatever.
Right.
But we as returnees are not valued.
Right.
We're not valued. We're not looked at for what we put in. You said you help a lot of people by sending remittances, and so we do that.
Yeah.
For example, just last month, I took a young lady to a shop who is a widow, and she purchased $500 worth of food for herself and the children. We all do that. But I'm saying to say this. I think we Grenadians should do more to help ourselves.
Yes.
We spend too much money on leisure, pleasure. We should do a savings,
Right. That's
$5.
That is a very good idea and topic, and we could even exponent on that even further. But I thank you for your input, caller. Very, very, very good. And as a returning national, do everything that you could do to help out. All right, appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Kim, someone Kim, someone had a statement that they put up there, right? And I don't know if I could go back to it. I don't know if you saw it, Kim. But basically they were saying, why risk the entire population or the large cross section of the population just for 1 or 2 days of some people trying to free up themselves or fit?
Well, let me tell you, and I must commend the last caller. I think that the caller said it best, because I have been seeing clearly that there is a need for a hotline. Tonight I heard Keith Mitchell speak about a hotline for the debushing program, but I have been calling for a hotline for people who took the vaccine and want to give feedback on the side effects and so on. Because yes, you want to push the vaccine, and I am for science, because I'm waiting on the Cuban vaccine, and I believe I would take the Cuban vaccine first. I believe in the Cuban people. But I am simply saying that there is a need for a hotline for people to give feedback on the side effects from the AstraZeneca and so on. A lot of people are getting sick, a lot of side effects. There are women whose menstrual cycle change. There are people with heart problems. There are people with all kinds of stuff, people falling down. They're just trying to cover it up, and that's the reality. There are people with neurological problems. There are people with eating disorder after these things. So these things are happening, and to respect that forced vaccination, I'm not for that. People need to have a choice to determine whether or not they take it and what type they take, and the lady made a very good the doctor should guide them accordingly. I know of a friend whose doctor said, well, don't take the AstraZeneca, take the Pfizer, and she went to the United States and she took it and she came back. So that's a very good point. I am saying, Junior, you don't have to like it. People don't have to like it. Grenadians will still enjoy themselves. There are events taking place as we speak, and big events too, with hundreds of people in different centers, different communities. I am saying if we properly manage this thing, we can have events and activities. We don't produce this thing here, brother. Even if you say, well, the Vincentian come in and that one come in, you need to monitor this thing. When the Trinidad government gave the government of Grenada, the NNP administration, money for a Coast Guard, what did they do with the money? I'm asking you, what did they do with the money? We ain't have no Coast Guard. Then when they asked them about the money, they said, well, hello, the money was used to pay salaries and the money was used to pay this and pay that. Brother, I am saying, it's clear that something must happen of the activity. You there still, Junior?
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me?
Activity. You can't run away from that. We can't segregate the society where you have vaccinated versus unvaccinated, where the people who are vaccinated having their big events and their big shows. And the fact remains, you can still get the virus even if you're vaccinated. You can still spread the virus even if you're vaccinated. So what's the point? And look at the CDC telling you that away, man, even if you're vaccinated. So why segregate the community? Why segregate Grenada? Let them people enjoy their culture and enjoy their mass. Let them enjoy it without producing COVID here. Some people will say, okay, no. Come on, people are still enjoying themselves. So there's the elite who are having a wonderful time in Grenada. We're not living in the United States of America, Canada, and the United Kingdom, and so on. This thing can only come here by boat or by plane. Put resources where it's supposed to be, and everything will be okay. That's what it is. That's clear. I am saying let the people enjoy the culture. Let them free up. It's 2 days, 3 days. At least you might save some people from getting mad or crazy in this place. People are depressed and stressed out with this stupidness happening in the country. That's my position. I am simply saying all what they're talking about risk and risk and risk. They're making this thing to make you believe that this thing is some big thing that they go unleash on the people. I am saying manage the airport properly, manage the seaport properly and all the different hotspots. We know where them people won't come in. Get the community involved. Get the boatmen, the fishermen involved. They go alert you. They go tell you what's going down before people start going in communities and so on. Look, people are coming from overseas, Junior. They're spending 2 days vaccinating people. 2 days, you know. Some are a day and a half. And then they unleash them in the community. They're going in the community, and there's a great probability that these people could be sick. Even if they tell you, well, we test them, not enough time to really test these people and realize whether or not they have it. I'm not saying that the experts are not right, you know, but they're also telling us that these people could spread this thing into the community. So come on, there's too much of double standard and all that kind of thing coming out every single day. It's a clinical thing. It's a experimental thing. We'll learn as we go. But come on, man, you can't lock up people like that. Our chemistry was never, ever designed for this kind of solitary confinement, and you have to stay home, and you can't move there, and curfew, and all that kind of stupidness. They're making people more upset than anything else. Free up the job. Let the job play. Let them people play the little Apache. Let them play the little Shotney. Let them play the little floor mass. Let them people free up. Let them free up. It could be less on Grenada, less on the government and the police. It could be less. Let them people in the different communities and the different parishes. Let them do their thing. You don't have people from St. David going to St. Andrew. Let people in St. David do their little thing. And things gonna be nice in Grenada, you know. Trust me. But again, the election coming up, you could expect between now and the election, let's say the first quarter of next year, boy, a lot of session, a lot of parties, a lot of events. Keith Mitchell forgetting about all this protocol and all this stupidness and all them old mask thing and all this. You will see thing, Keith Mitchell and all gonna be jumping up in the band.
Moses, you haven't said anything in a while. I know you're taking in a lot has been said. What's your take on all of this thus far? We had a few calls and a few comments.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, how I see it is that they're spreading a whole pile of fear mongering on the national television, and every single day everything is only about the vaccine. But really and truly, I feel like a lot of the people in Grenada, especially the people who are suffering under these COVIDious times, we don't want the vaccine, Junior. We actually want a good job, a stable job. You know, we want food in our house. We want our bills paid at the end of the month. We want to know our kids have something to eat. We want to know we have a piece of land that we could put a little house, even if it's with bamboo, but that is we own. The youths don't have no land right now. Most of the youths, they're staying with their parents. Even big people in their 40s, late 30s have to move back home. There's no money here, Junior. Remember, we as Grenadians, right? Think about it. I'm thinking about it from a logical standpoint. I just came out in England, and £1 is 3.5 times our dollar. So they are basically saying, these governments outside are saying that you need to work 3.5 times as hard to earn one in my dollar. It's really, really hard, Junior. 100 US, 200 US ain't going nowhere. Don't get tricked. Most of the time when you see somebody call and beg for 200 US, they want 10,000. You understand where I'm coming from? But they can't beg for that. But the little that they could get will help. Where is the little that we've been asking for? Just to balance ourselves. Things real hard now. Real hard. People cannot even go out in the night to make that extra like $1 no more. Them men who buy their vehicle for taxi service in the night, they can't go out no more. People have loans to pay. Remember, people are living a normal life, thinking that things will be prosperous and that, you know, things will boom again. The tourism industry is going to get good again. We're going to have a lot of tourists. That is what they was feeding. They was feeding that narrative to us that things are going to get better. Let's all work together collectively to make this thing work for us. But it's not really working for us. It's not working for the youths. It's working for one set of people in Grenada. Just like in the first world countries, it's the billionaires and the multimillionaires who get rich off of this COVID, not the poor. It's just suck the poor people and let the rich get rich. Junior, price of gas, as Kim was just explaining, salaries, the 4%, all these talk that just come in. Just the other day, and I want Grenadians to remember that the same prime minister that we have now said that he will never force anybody to take a vaccine. And he would never allow that law to be passed. But I don't know what gimmicks they do or what agreement they come up with, but they find a loophole in the system to get people to take the vaccine. by using the employers in Grenada. Listen to me, and this thing, we have to set up some kind of investigation, some kind of way, because you have a lot of people going through things and they cannot talk about it. Grenadians right now, they balling, but they balling with their mouth closed, Junior. They screaming inside, but their
Yeah.
mouth closed. A lot of people are scared to speak out because they feel they're going to be victimized. They feel somebody's going to say in the neighborhood, oh, nah, he's an NP or he's an NDC. So nothing for him. That is how roadwork going. If you not aligned with the party, you can't get no roadwork. According to where the roadwork being administered, you can't get no roadwork if you're not aligned with the party. So one set of people eating.
Yeah.
Everybody should eat. Grenadians. Every Grenadian should be able to eat, Junior. And we're not eating, and we're hungry, and we vex. And we vex with the leader. Because the strong countries with good economies have strong leaders who giving us Grenadians hope. Where's the hope? I don't feel like there's no hope. I feel like I want to run away from this country. You understand where I'm coming from? There's no hope down here. All my friends saying, boy, watch if I get a little woman in some place in Europe or in America, I gone. I'm not looking back. This is the atmosphere in Grenada. People are frustrated. Somebody play a little jab over the weekend. Yes, we are under emergency powers or whatever they call it. But somebody play a little jab, they ain't hurt nobody, they ain't going no tongue. You mean to say them same unemployed people, you go and pick them up and charge them $500 or $300? Really? That's what we're doing to our people now when we're supposed to be feeding these people and getting work for them to do? Where's the agriculture? Where's the shrimp farm? Where's Livera project? Nobody is being accountable. Where's all these projects? Who is talking about these things? Who is doing investigative journalism to say, hey, every day we're there on the Livera project, every day we're there on the Last Adjust project, we want to know what is going on. Because the ministers and them, they promise us jobs. They come on national television and plead with us that we're going to get the jobs, and up to now we can't get the jobs, we can't get the money. Junior, we're frustrated. Frustrated to the point that people actually talking about assassination. I don't want to go down that road, but this is...
Don't say that word. Don't say that word. Hold on. Don't say that. We saw
I'm just saying, this is how crazy people are at this point in time, Junior.
I don't want
I'm not going to elaborate on that, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
this is how frustrated Grenadians are at this moment. Some people saying, yes, they hear the rules, but they ain't care. Jump high, jump low. The Prime Minister is getting the wickedest job he's going to ever see in his life. That is what people are saying. They say they don't care about this $400 or this $300 that they're going to charge. They said they're going to make a jail. Can they really accommodate 100,000 job in the prison?
Wow. Yeah. You're right. You're right about the passion, because I feel the passion. I feel the passion. Kim, I was telling before you come on there, I was telling Moses, I have never gotten so many requests for remittances than I've gotten in the past month. It seems as if it was a trickly effect, but at a point right now that we don't even go to our committee meeting. We just whatever. We just sending out funds because I feel and I see people. You can't say no to them. Who you gonna say no to? Everybody in a state, everybody need. You just have with the little that you have. You don't have a money tree. The little that you have, you have to just give it. You have to just give it. It is bad, 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 and I see it. I feel in it myself. You know what I mean? So I think
Yeah.
we cannot rely on government to fix this. I don't think that we should even rely on government to fix anything in particular. We have to figure out a solution. The people have to figure out a solution how we could help or could be our brother keeper and fix the problem, whatever we could at in
Well,
what we have got to do.
yeah. Junior, the latter part of your statement, I disagree with you. The reason why you put a government in power is to create the enabling environment, of course, for private sector to thrive, but to also enhance people's living standard and condition, to make people life better. So don't tell me that we have to do it for ourselves and do this for ourselves and so on. If a government they're supposed to do what they're supposed to do, if they can't do it, get out.
But
You
if
gotta
somebody
vote them out and kick them out.
if somebody's hungry in Grenville, and their kids going to sleep hungry, you
Yeah,
can't
but
the government. No, the government. We
Yes,
still have
but the
people.
ministers get $10,800 or so dollars constituency allowance. What are they doing with it? Huh?
And
I
it's
want to know their
bad.
cell phone bill is paid for by taxpayers. Some of them so damn wicked and bad-minded. Excuse me language, but that's how I speak. I'm frank. They know that taxpayers' money paying for it, and some of their phone bills is $5,000 and $6,000 and $3,000. How much dollars have the facts to prove it? They wicked taxpayers' money. They go in the central police station on the Carnage and take free gasoline. Some of them are 3 and 4 vehicles. So they go the first vehicle and they're fulling up. They go the second vehicle the next day and full up. The third vehicle the next day and full up. And some of them still go with some gas bottle to put the rest. They're wicked, then good. So I am simply saying, brother, when you elect these people, they have to make your life better. The government's supposed to make your life better. I want to commend Moses. You see that young man, I ain't know him too well. Brother, look, I am proud of you. You understand this thing to a T. You're conscious-minded. You're realistic. You're talking it as is. Man, if I was close to you, I would shake your big toe.
Blessings.
I don't need to know you personally, but my spirit give it you already. I am simply saying, Junior, I want a better life, boy. I want a better life for my child and my children. I want a better life for everybody. I want to live a better life. But look at the politicians for them. Their pension is secured. The NNP passed a law. The NNP passed a law making sure that the politicians, after 4 years, collect a big fat gratuity of $70-something thousand. And when they do another 4 years, they get another big fat gratuity of $70-something thousand. And because they complete 8 years, my good God in heaven, they get a big fat pension until they're dead from taxpayers, from the government, the consolidated fund. How could that be right? At the age of 55. But a public officer who works for 30 years, 35 years, 40 years, goes home with no gratuity and no pension, and Keith Mitchell has the balls to say tonight in his address that he's waiting on the court. He's waiting on a judge to tell him to pay workers, oh God, pay them their pension after 30 years of service. That's a crime against the workers of this country. I can't support that, no matter what. According to Talpri, no matter what, I cannot support that. That is a crime against public officers. You don't have to wait on some judge to tell you that these people work for so long and they're going back to be poor. They are considered to be working poor, because remember, when you retire, brother, you have no salary coming in on a monthly basis. You're going back to zero, and you have to rely on your pension from your employer and the liquor pretense of NIS. Your gratuity is a one-off payment, so if you have a little loan and you have 2 years again to complete, you could complete that and at least sleep in peace in the night. They're not getting none of that. None of that. Junior, I have a fundamental problem when the Prime Minister could come and tell me that he's waiting on the court to rule to determine whether he give workers of Grenada a pension, the public officers a pension. I have a problem with that. When the NNP passed a law to make sure that the politicians, some of them, they more crooked than the corkscrew that you normally use to open your wine. I am saying the time has come for us to be real. Say it as is, right? Come on, man. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Junior, I had an opportunity today to go and do a live. And I guess that's what you see. Them big holes, and then you saw it. I suppose you saw it.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, some big holes. In fact, you could plant blogger and fig inside of them. They're not fixing them roads and there is a direct correlation between the bad roads and the high taxes on used and new tires and the vehicle parts. Because when you drive on them bad roads, you must go and buy tire every week or every 2 weeks, or you must go and buy vehicle parts every 2 weeks, and the government making a hell of a lot of money, because remember, they increase the price, the tax, on new and used tires and vehicle parts. You don't see them big holes, boy? Oh God, it's too much. And when they patch, like a sore foot, they put the plaster on top of the bad sore foot, and you see just patchy. When rainfall, it worse than how it was. Grenadians, we need to check something out. Something ain't right. Something wrong, according to my partner. something wrong here, and somebody got to say something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not going to come and tell us the truth. He start to lie already, you know. And when election time, you go see him. When he playing thing and put on tight jersey and tight pants and start to whine and do all kind of stupidness. Grenadians are warning all you know. Oh God. Are you free of yourself from bad bondage, you know? Let me give you a little story because I want to run off.
Mm-hmm.
I have some friends calling me outside. They don't worry about it, I say. Junior, I was in St. George's. And we had a conversation of 3, 4, 5 young people. And them ladies saying, well, boy, oh God, price of goods high, electricity, water, road bad. They start to complain about all kind of things. Corruption, all kind of thing. And one woman say, well, she voted for the NNP, Junior. A young lady, so they come by me and they tell me, well, give me a little Imani thing and a little thing. You know what that old lady says? She won't be 110 years, 120, 130 years, and an old lady. A nice old lady. She say, woman, if the man beating you and you're getting leaks left, right, and center in the house, once the door open, you're running outside, even if a donkey pack up outside, you're jumping at a donkey and you don't care where the donkey going. Because the woman was saying, well, I don't know the end. You see this and the end, you see that? The old lady say, the leaks NNP giving Grenadians right now and keep Mitchell and them blows in the close. When that liquor door open, if there's a wind will open the door and you get a chance to escape, even if the little donkey pack up there telling you, Junior, the old lady, the woman jump and she running, she going anywhere she could go. I am saying, Grenadians, that place to realize we're getting a lot of blows. We can't take no more. We mark up. We have spine problem. We cannot take no more. But Junior had to run.
Thank you.
Moses,
blessings.
and I think you do excellent. Watch me. I am so proud. Trust me. I want to get to know you, man. Link up with me too. It's a blessing.
You know Moses, man. What do you mean you don't know Jab Moses?
No, I never met him in person, like in person.
Okay.
But that man is watch me. Fella, I salute you. Trust
Salute,
me.
man. Salute.
Salute.
Yeah, big up yourself, Kim Jones. You keep in touch.
Blessings.
Safe, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, guys. So we're talking here. We had a great conversation there with Kim Jones. We want to get you guys on it as well. So we open back up the phone line 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Talk to us about the Prime Minister's speech. We only have about 10 more minutes before we shut it off, but I want to get your voices on it. 718-701-5720. In summary, the Prime Minister spoke about the vaccine, and the caller from Montserrat made such a great point, and I didn't even think about it. Jab Moses, that the Prime Minister started his speech on the vaccine, right away, starting it on that tone. Anti-vaxxers, people that just ain't go listen, they go shut off right there. So it wasn't a good PR for a lot of people, because from the minute they hear vaccine, they don't want to listen to the rest of the speech. They turn off and you ain't getting them back at all.
Well, people feel like he came out with an agenda then. If you listen to the speech, it's you talk about the vaccine as the first thing, talk about some other issues, and then he bring back the vaccine to circle it around and incorporate it with everything that he's talking about.
Right.
It was a lot. And if somebody who's anti-vax and don't want to hear anything like that, they're gonna shut off. They're not gonna listen to it.
At the beginning, shut off.
They're not gonna want to hear anything that he's saying after that.
We got a call on the line. Let's take this call here. Caller, you live? Where are you calling us from?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York. Go right ahead.
Well, his message, I don't. He could have delivered it better. If you want to convince people, you could have used charts and everything else, But to just sort of peddling fear, Some people obviously would be turned off by that. But the message of the vaccine is an important one. So from that aspect, I'll say it's correct. But his approach to we probably different in his approach to the intelligence.
Right.
That's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much, Brooklyn, New York. Stay safe out there.
You're welcome.
All right. 717-015-720. We're wrapping up this conversation on the Prime Minister's speech that we just heard here on all major platforms. The Prime Minister spoke about a stimulus for folks in the entertainment business. I guess a lot of people, probably like yourself, artists and promoters, are kind of happy to hear that. Wouldn't they be?
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that as well too, because my friends and so on in the entertainment industry, a lot of them are crying out. Nothing is going on. Soca music is being released, but they're not being booked. They're not flying out. They're not making any money from shows. It's a different atmosphere. It's almost like we don't have an entertainment industry anymore. It's not robust. There's nothing happening. But most importantly, Junior, I want to hear not just about entertainers and not just about people in the tourism industry. I want to hear about the common man, Junior. The old lady who lives at home alone, has no family to come and see after. What's going on with these types of people? You know what I'm saying? What about the people who can't even afford electricity right now? There's a lot of people who are getting calls from Nawasa and Grenlec right now because they just can't pay the bills. It's better to eat food and stay without light, Junior, and be
Mm-hmm.
able to buy pampers and milk for your child than to pay the bill. Obviously, you have kids and so on, and you need the electricity in your house. But some people, their lights are going to be cut off soon. Their water is going to be shut off as well too, and they're going to have to call their families abroad to help them out of the situation. And there's more money these institutions are getting, because the moment time that you go in and you was disconnected, you have a disconnection charge. It's a lot, Junior. And I feel like the government, prime minister, the people who are responsible aren't creating measures to help the poor people. They're just creating things just to suck and suck from our people. Everything is just going up. It's more expensive to do business right now in Grenada, to do construction. All these industries are just at a stand halt. So it's difficult.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I went to Aruba a few months ago, right? And I was shocked at the atmosphere and the activities that is happening in Aruba in the middle of that pandemic,
Hmm.
right? First of all, to get into Aruba, all you needed was a PCR test, a negative PCR test,
Hmm.
and you go about, you do whatever. I mean, things was happening, things was bubbling there. Then I went to Jamaica just a few weeks ago, and Jamaica is open.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Jamaica has, and I guess they are weighing out the odds. Live versus free up a little bit, and let us continue the tourism and not kill the sector, because you jump on a plane right now from New York with a negative PCR test, you ending up in Jamaica, and you're free to roam the place. You go on the beach, you do whatever you want to do like nothing. Let's take this call. Hold on. Let's take this call coming from Grenada, Moses, before you respond. Calling you live. Where you calling us from?
Hi, good night. I'm calling from Grenada.
Go ahead. I'm hearing a lot of noise in the background, so if you could just eliminate that
Okay,
for me,
let
that
me
would be
try
nice.
to. Okay.
Yeah, go
Sorry
ahead.
for that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm calling from Grenada, and I just want them to know Grenadians are not anti-vax. You understand? For me, I take all my vaccines. I even paid to get the yellow fever vaccine.
Right.
But we are being forced to take a vaccine that is still in test run, that is not proved to prevent or protect us from the virus. You understand? And it's being shoved down our throat. This is what many Grenadians are holding back for. This is the agenda, the way in which they roll out this on us. Take it or no job. Take it or no this. Take it or no that. This is wrong. And the way St. George's University is running this country, by making their rules and their regulations, that they can put you at a job and say, if you refuse to take this vaccine, you cannot come to work, you cannot have jobs. And the Prime Minister of Grenada is allowing this to happen. A lot of people is out of jobs, you understand? And the high unemployment rate that was already there, coming to meet this one, is very ridiculous. And the Prime Minister of Grenada needs to stop this and need to stand up and speak against this thing. And this is wrong. And Grenadians need to wake up and realize this is wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller, for your input on that. Yeah, I saw another call was coming in. Yeah, Moses. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
so,
train
yeah.
of
So
thought.
the point I wanted to make is I feel like when in 2020, I think it was about late February, early March when
February early.
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So I think the way that they handled the procedure of shutting down the country was wrong. And I'm saying that to say that I was on the ground. I was in Grenada. I literally just came back from London as well, too, Junior. And I was in Grenada when the country shut down. A matter of fact, I was up in the Boiling Springs in Violence. And I got the call that they were shutting down the country at 6 p.m. or whatever. And there was a press briefing, and everybody had to head home and stay home. But the way in which they did it was very bad because not only did they shut off very important things that we needed to be functioning in the sector, but they killed a lot of activities. Especially, could you imagine a country like Grenada, which consumes fish on a daily? The workers who were working in the fish markets had to go home. There was no ice for the fishermen. They weren't able to fish for weeks. The farmers were not able to go and see after their crops. I think that the people who were making the decisions were not consulting the countries and people with the models that have worked. They were just doing their own thing. And if we continue along this line to just accept the first piece of information, take it and imply it to the Grenadian public, it's not going to work. Every situation is different. Every country handles the situation different, but we have to come together collectively and sit down and figure out exactly how to work this so we are not significantly affecting our population, the working class people, the poor people, the unemployed people, negatively. We
Yeah,
need to figure out a way that we can get the economy going, back up and running, not fully, but functioning without having all of these restrictions. A lot of people are saying that they're feeling like the government is their father, telling them when to go inside and what to do, what to eat, where to go, how long to stay where. You know what I'm saying,
yeah.
Junior? So I feel people are just frustrated right now.
And
And
you can see the frustration on people.
yeah, if we don't have hope, Junior, if we don't have hope, it's gonna destroy people's mental capacity. A lot of people right now are probably going sick in Grenada,
Yeah,
frustrated, they're stressed,
I see
depressed.
the frustration. Trust me. We got a call on.
Suicidal.
Call you live. Where you calling us from?
Hi, good night. I'm calling from Grenada.
Go right ahead, caller.
Yeah. I just want to speak on a couple observations, right? Well, first of all, I would like to say it's really long overdue that at least people from the entertainment industry are going, some attention is going to be given to those people, because it seems as though people in that industry has just been forgotten for the longest while, as though they don't have families to be fed, and we always advocating about lives and livelihoods, but I don't know whose lives and livelihoods they're talking about, because I have always advocated that it seems as though the people that making the policy, I don't want to say all they care about is that they get a paycheck, but the fact remains is that they get their paycheck prompt every other month, and they have people that just fighting to make ends meet.
Right.
The other thing I want to say, right, it amazes me after a year and change of COVID. It seems as though I can't speak to the governments of the Caribbean, but I'm speaking in my locality. I'm speaking to the government of Grenada. When it is are we going to open our eyes and realize that we cannot base our economy just on tourism? It's just always the same thing about, and I think that is what is driving the policy when we open back up, and even the policy how we deal with the quarantine and because at the end of the day, right? You want to tell me we've had a year and change to even look at how we approach industry and being more self-sufficient, talking about agriculture, even education.
Yeah.
Education is an issue. At this stage, right, you want to tell me about all this technology that they're speaking about, right? That a child have to stay home for 2 weeks now, especially where they're even extra sensitive about somebody having a sneeze because of COVID. And then they have to sit, after being sitting down home for a whole year, right? Still have to sit down home and endure not being able to be having a face-to-face. We can't invest in some cameras in classrooms, so even after they're home, when they're sick, that they could still sit into the classes. This is something this is not difficult, and it is just, and I want to pose a question here because I had an experience recently. I went to the hospital to go and donate blood, right? And I asked the person drawing the blood. I said, Miss, something that just dawned on me. What is the protocol with regards to persons who are vaccinated, right? Donating blood to someone that has not been vaccinated, right? How does that affect? Because I don't know. I don't want to speak to the technology as though I'm informed but in my layman understanding is that there's some measure of the virus in the vaccine.
No,
right?
I didn't mix. I didn't hear the information in that way. I didn't hear that the virus is in the vaccine.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to. I don't want to. That's what I said. I don't want to, because I don't know the technology. But what I would like to, there should be protocols with regards to, because people donating blood, and the response I got from the nurse, she said that very same question was posed to the Ministry of Education in writing, and up to this day, they have not received any protocol as to how to treat with it.
Yeah. No, that's
my experience.
That is a very good question, and this question I think we need to pose probably to the minister whenever he makes his way on the ride along. But it's a very important question. That's a very important question.
Because they're always trying to downplay people's concerns as conspiracy theories and whatever the case may be. But I always advocate that the forums that we need to be pushing is so that the average man can be able to ask those critical questions, the things that is burning, those burning questions, those things that's concerning him. You only have a set of journalists that go in and asking the same sort of all questions every post-cabinet briefing. You understand? Well, they don't reflect. Do they reflect the concerns of the average man on the field, on the street?
Yeah.
So create those avenues, whether it's through town halls, whether it's through video town halls, create those avenues so that persons could have their say and get their questions answered, and stop talking, about vaccine hesitant. Yes, people are hesitant to take vaccine because the information is too few and far between, and it's just not consistent. You understand?
That's right.
It's never clear. We hearing on CNN, Joe Biden going to say such and such is the case. This is a trial vaccine, and we only sending it out to these countries, and it's not. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Right, yeah. Good point, caller.
I know you're hearing the CDC, and look, the CDC saying that you have to wear a mask even if you're vaccinated. After they told us, and I'm sure all of us say they tell us that once you're vaccinated, you no longer have to wear a mask. Now they change. Now they're no change in that.
Well, the science, as far as my understanding on that, and you made some very valid points, but the science behind that, as far as what I understood, is that the new variant, which is the Delta variant, it seems like it's like about 1,000 times more contagious than the others. So it's like 1,000 times more virus in the human body at that point in time. And I mean, listen, I'm not no science major, or I'm not no person to speak or speak on the behalf of the scientists, because I don't know so much about it. But after speaking to my doctor and the reassurance that he gave me, I felt comfortable enough to take the vaccine. And I felt comfortable enough to advise my mother, who is 70-something years old, to also take the vaccine. My son has the vaccine, and everybody in my family has the vaccine, because I felt that comfort. So it's a personal choice. Yes. But I get what you're saying.
I agree with you. That's the people who have to be disseminating the information.
Yeah.
No celebrity can get me to take no vaccine. Don't put no celebrity in front of me, because I don't go to them for advice on medical issues.
Right, that's true. That's true. You're a medical doctor. But Colin, you make some very valid points. And I know that the powers that be are watching and listening and they're probably thinking about the same thing. So the next time we get Mr. Nicholas Steele on here, I will pose a question to him as far as it relates to the protocol in blood, in donating blood and vaccinated. But thanks for your input, caller. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Right, so we got to close. Wow, we're going way over time, Moses. Oh, hold on, sorry. Before we go back to you, Moses, I have a caller on the line for a quick statement. Let me take that last caller and then that's it. Caller, you live? Where are you calling us from?
Miami. Listen, Junior. In spite of everything that happened, there was things that the government could have done better, and I go give them a thumbs up. And the reason I give them a thumbs up because they prevent from Grenada having a community spread with this virus, and that is a big plus, because if they do have a community spread, people would have fallen and dead like flies in this country, Grenada. So give them a thumbs up. They made little mistake along the way, but the biggest thing, they prevent a community spread so far, and that is a A plus.
Right. Thank you, caller.
Thank you very much.
All right. Cool. Moses, closing remarks, my friend.
Yeah, man, it was a nice discussion, At the same time, we started the discussion talking about the Prime Minister's address, and I guess as much as a lot of different things to take from that address, but I feel, despite however people may feel at this point in time, I just want to send out a little bit of hope, a little bit of faith, a little bit of blessings during these very tough times. And it's time we as Grenadians get involved with the things that are affecting our country. It's time that the youths get involved in the things that are affecting their future. And it's time that we as Grenadian people, not just people within the country, but the Grenadian diaspora, come together in love, in unity, to collectively get the information, get the supplies, get the money, get whatever may be needed to help our poor country at this time. So I'm just going to say goodnight to everybody, all the Ride Along followers and everybody on the live tonight. And let's just hope for the best, Junior.
Yeah. Thank you, Moses, for coming in and chatting with us. I know it was short notice. I appreciate you so much, my brother. Yeah, guys, so that was your reaction to the Prime Minister's comment earlier today. The entire statement is on the website if you want to go back and watch the entire statement. If you didn't miss it, it's on the Ride Along page. You can go and check that out. We appreciate you for sharing. Thanks for being a part of our program. Thanks to our producer, Lois JJ, our moderators. We have, I saw Gail. Gail, how you doing? Deanne Fraser, Kibbs, who is probably asleep somewhere right now because it's a late program. Yeah. Thank you so much, Andrea, everyone who contributed. Kem Jones for giving his feedback on this topic. And everyone. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you. Don't forget, you could watch Ride Along weekdays from 6 p.m. right here. 6 p.m., guys. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today's program is a little bit off. We normally don't be up 10 p.m. But I realize some of you guys are late viewers. Like, you guys like late program. Probably should move the program from 6 to later time. Since you guys like, we'll work something out. We'll put a program at that time because you guys are late risers. That's what we could call it. Late riders. Anyway, guys, before I go, I gotta tell you guys this, that we're moving our platform over to YouTube. So we want you guys to subscribe to us on YouTube, right? So if you right now, go ahead and click that. I think one of my moderators is gonna put it in there. Click that link and subscribe to us on YouTube, right? Yeah, go ahead and subscribe to us over there on YouTube. Alright, and also hit the notification bell. Also, guys, we're having a casting call, right? So a casting call, because we're going to be doing this this mini series, mini movie series. It's called Moral High Ground. Moral High Ground is a series of films that we're going to be doing, ride along films, right? And we're looking for actors and actresses. So if you're an actor or aspiring actor and you want to be a part of our TV mini series, movie mini series, you can inbox us and we're going to have a casting call within the next couple of weeks or so. If you have any aspiration to be an actor or an actress. All right, so look out for it. It's called Moral High Ground. It's a series TV series. Okay, look out for that. Again, you could inbox us or call the number on the screen, the 718 number, for more information if you want to be a part of that. Okay. Also, I want you guys to go over and check out riderslive.com. Riderslive.com. 24 hours programming on riderslive.com. All right. Okay. Garden Boney, my friend, how you doing? I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, guys, everybody, for watching and sharing. Catch me again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Good night.
Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
Feeling hungry, grab a snack. Caribbean food delight. Jamaican patties, light and flaky. Caribbean food delight. Taste the difference. Caribbean food delight. Grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight. Quick and easy, grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to TD Bank, where you'll find the personalized attention you deserve and the legendary experience you expect. Let's do business. If you are a medical or dental practitioner, contact me to hear about our tailored lending solutions for residential mortgages, equipment purchases, practice-related commercial mortgages and refinance. Visit me at 500 Baychester Avenue to hear more about our full range of personal and small business banking solutions. See you soon.